Thank you for joining today's webinar for livestock agents on essential equipment rebate. My name's Jodie Rizet O'Brien, and I'm one of the EID implementation team at Primary Industries and Region. Our speaker today is Julie Wedderburn. Julie has worked for Primary Industries and Regions for over 10 years in various roles, including project management and coordination, policy advice, and program delivery. For the past 18 months, Julie has been the project coordinator for EID implementation in the Major Programs Division, working with biosecurity to support stage 1 of the EID implementation program. Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Jodie. I'll just spend a few minutes just running through the essential equipment rebate that we have available for agents to access. And all the information that I cover over the next few slides is available on the PIRSA website through our guidelines. And so a 75% rebate up to a maximum of $7,000 is available for livestock agents to purchase essential equipment to assist reporting and recording obligations to notify movements of sheep and goats to the NLIS database within the legal timeframes. The guidelines outline that it is one application per livestock agent pick. And we are accepting rebate applications until 30th of June 2025. So in terms of eligible equipment, you are able to apply for a rebate for a pocket reader, a stick reader or wand, a mobile panel reader, or a scanning component of a weigh crate. And importantly, this equipment must be purchased on or after 8th of June 2023, which is the date that the Minister announced the funding for EI implementation stage 1. And also the other thing to note is that second-hand equipment is not eligible. And there are a range of other equipment that we won't be covering through the rebate, such as applicators and tags, weigh crates and scales, software, training, computer and tablets, and any equipment for enhancing performance. So really the focus of this rebate is for the essential equipment to support agents for the recording and reporting obligations to record those movements in the NLIS database. So in terms of eligibility, who can apply? So agents must be based in South Australia, must have an active South Australian livestock agent PIC registered with PIRSA, must have an active NLIS database account, and must be operating or employed at a location where sheep and or farmed goats are offered for sale, such as an on-farm public auction. So as Denise outlined, this could be clearing sales, dispersal sales, stud or ram sales, breeder or ewe sales, off-shear sales, flock reduction sales, or circuit sales. And the applicant must hold an ABN, be a legal entity capable of entering into a grant agreement with the Minister, and not have received funding from another South Australian or federal government program for the same activities. So the information that you will be required to provide as part of the rebate application. So it is a purchase equipment and then submit the information through the online rebate application form. So we'll need an itemised list of essential equipment, the purchase costs and official tax invoices, full evidence of payment, such as a bank statement showing payment of the invoice, a supplier invoice showing zero balance, a bank lodgement receipt, including the payee account name and account number, the invoice number of the supplier, the amount and the date. We'll also need you to be to have the form signed by an authorised officer, provide an acquittal form, and some basic applicant details in terms of legal entity name, contact details, the NLIS account ID of your organisation, the address, local government area, and of course the active SA livestock agent PIC number. In terms of the process, so rebate applications close on the 30th of June. So I would encourage everyone to go onto the website, have a look at the guidelines, determine the eligibility, so who can apply and what equipment is eligible, identify your equipment needs, purchase the essential equipment, and log in and complete the online rebate form with all supporting documents by 30th of June 2025. So just a few common questions. We have a number of agents operating under a single South Australian livestock agent PIC. Can we submit multiple rebate applications? So the guidelines outline only one application per SA livestock agent PIC, and the applicant will only be able to submit one rebate. So that's 75% up to a maximum of $7,000 for the essential equipment purchased. We've also had a few questions around selling agents. So those that operate as a selling agent at registered sale yards, can I access the agent rebate? Unfortunately, the agent rebate is available to agents operating or employed at a location where sheep or farmed goats are offered for sale via an on-farm public auction. Agents operating as selling agents at registered sale yards only. So those agents who operate under a sale yard PIC are not eligible to apply for the agent rebate. And there is a separate rebate available to sale yards for the purchase of essential equipment to support their recording and reporting obligations. Another question, we have a number of agent PICs registered with PIRSA, and we have a single equipment order, invoice and proof of payment that covers all the registered SA livestock agent PICs. Do we need to submit a separate online rebate application for each PIC? So if this is a situation that sounds familiar to you, or so we would encourage you to please contact myself at PIRSA so we can discuss your specific situation. We do want to make the online application form as smooth and streamlined as possible. So if you do, rather than submitting multiple rebate applications, we may be able to consolidate. So please contact myself if that situation is familiar to you. Another question, does the online rebate form, well, it needs to be signed by an authorised officer. Who could this be? So for a company or business, an authorised officer will be one or more of the following, such as a director, a secretary, owner, or partner. And in terms of accessing and applying for the rebate, it's essentially a two-stepped process. So the online application form is available at the PIRSA website and the sa.gov.au link. It is a two-step process, so you must be registered with My PIRSA. So you will need to log in if you have an existing account or to create a new account. Once you are registered with My PIRSA, you will receive an auto-generated confirmation email, and then you will be able to navigate to the Essential Equipment Rebate Agent tile to then access the online form and complete that online application form. Once you have submitted the application, you'll receive an automated email confirming your application has been submitted, and you'll be provided with a reference number. Once we receive that application, it will undergo a compliance check, and if there is any missing information or documents, an assessor will send a clarification email to the applicant asking for information. Rebate assessments, generally we aim for a 4-week turnaround, but it may be longer if there are clarifications. So I encourage you to have all the documentation available and uploaded as part of your application. And I just want to also promote the essential equipment rebate for producers. So we do have a rebate, a 75% rebate that producers who have a history of moving animals onto property directly from another property. So that is also available till 30th of June 2025, or when funding is exhausted, whichever occurs first. So this is really supporting those producers that move, have those P2P movements directly from another property to different PICs that potentially could be under the same ownership, buying stock via an online auction, or buying stock in privately, or moving stock between two properties, two different PICs for adjustment purposes. The 75% rebate is available up to a maximum amount, depending on the quantity of P2P movements over the past 3 years based on average movements. So a producer can access 75% rebate up to $500 if their average movements are 100 or less animals, 75% up to $2,000 for movements between 101 and 5,000 animals averaged over the past 3 years, and then the 75% rebate up to 20,000 for those that have big movement numbers, 5,000 plus. And the eligible equipment includes tag applicators, pocket reader, stick reader or wand, panel reader, a single lane panel reader, dual lane panel reader, or auto drafter. And similarly, second-hand equipment is not eligible, and equipment purchased prior to 8th of June 2023 is not eligible. Weigh crates or scales are ineligible, and training, the cost of installation or retrofitting by a staff member, or any ongoing maintenance or replacement costs are ineligible. And what movements onto property are ineligible? So these will not be included in the average movement numbers. So that's head movements onto property direct from a sale yard. As Denise outlined, sale yard is responsible for scanning and reporting movements into the NLIS database, and head movements onto property from an on-farm public auction, as the agent is responsible for scanning and on-farm public auction as the agent is responsible for scanning and recording movements into the NLIS database.
Thanks, Julie, for your presentation. If people have questions related to the National Livestock Identification System, you can contact Tara and Denise Rendell. If you have questions in relation to the essential equipment rebate, please contact Julie Wedderburn. Other questions, feel free to drop me a line, and you can subscribe to our mailing list to keep up to date with the latest information. Thank you and have a lovely day.